I see living intuitively as like the highest form of living through this life, that you trust yourself in the moment to make the right decision to head in a direction that comes from that voice. And building a relationship with that voice, deciphering between the other voices in your head when it's actually an intuitive call or whether it's coming from fear or patterns or other things, is extremely important. And what I find with dudes I work with and me in the past is when they have this rigid daily practice or routine, they're actually blocking themselves from operating from that intuitive voice. And they also carry a lot of fear about letting it go. Like they need this to have a good day. And if they didn't do their daily practice, then who knows what would happen? Who knows what would happen? This is a good place to be. Your intuition, it's like going through those stages where you do practice, do different things, you explore, now gives you a toolkit to use intuitively. Today I meditate. Now I want to do this. It's not even today, it's now. It's now I want to do this. Now I feel the need to do this. Now I need to rest. Now I need to do physical activity. And you start listening to that call and you trust it. Obviously, when you're operating from higher places or lower places, there's different voices that come in. As I said, fear, trauma, patterns, all these things. But you're an explorer of your own consciousness, and you learn how to dance with yourself through making mistakes, through taking false paths. But I think the goal is to end up coming back to that intuitive voice. And once you're listening to it, you're building a connection with it, that voice gets louder, it's easier to decipher, and that double guessing, double taking, fear and doubt start to be minimized, because you've seen what happens when you take that intuitive voice and where it leads you. And it does not lead you on a perfect path where everything's perfect and your intuition is right all the time. But the coolest thing is that even when you think it's taking you down a false path, maybe months or years later, everything sort of comes back on itself and you're like, aha, that's why I had to go that way. And for me, it's like when I've made decisions based in fear rather than that intuitive call, because that intuitive call looked like it was a stupid idea or there was too much risk, so I'll take this option because it makes more logical sense. Decisions based in fear never prosper, for my opinion. What you can learn from fear is to not make decisions in fear again. Getting clear on what voices are operating, what are coming through, is extremely important. In my stage of being yoga man and being super disciplined, I was the least free I ever was. Now, is this true for everyone? Absolutely not. But when I work with men and I see their rigidity on their practice and the thought of letting it go brought up something in them that they can't, they're like, no, I still need to do this. And your intuition can guide you to have a morning practice. There's a difference in like, oh, my life's falling apart, I need to ramp up discipline. If your intuitive voice says that, I've had that when I let go of everything. And then I'm like, oh, there's a bit going on here. And it's like, yeah, you need to pick up a little bit of discipline, but not pendulum swing into, all right, I need a routine every facet of my day. I need to do my hour practice as soon as I wake up, have my lemon water, have a shower at this time, do my ice bath, and then I can have a good day. You're blocking your intuitive faculties. You're not trusting yourself in the moment. Your intuition can lead you into further discipline, but your intuition can also lead you out of it and be like, let it go for now. You're getting called to do this. You're getting called to eat this. You're getting called to not work out today, not work out the next day, maybe 3 days in a row. And you trust it. This is when you start really stepping into your power and going, there is something guiding me, which is that voice, and I'm building a relationship with it. And it looks weirder than what you thought. Like the places you go, the things you do aren't as obvious as your logical mind wants life to look like. The way things taste, smell, feel are going to be different, and you lose your attachment to things needing to look a certain way and start building that trust within it. And it actually is exciting. Like if I'm driving somewhere and it's like, oh, go down there. I'm like, what? All right, go down there. and it becomes this more adventurous thing, and you can laugh at yourself on where it takes you, and you're like, yeah, this is cool. Sometimes the benefits of it take a longer period to appear in the 3D world, but I don't know, you sort of lose attachment to that as well, that there becomes less of a separation between that voice and who you are. And instead of double taking it or asking why, you just do it. And for me, the rigid routines, everything I say has nuance, and sometimes you need to put more discipline in your life as you've flown off the thing. But this can come from intuition, not fear, not like, I don't trust myself, so I need to routine everything. It's like, that's where the pendulum swings occur. Start trusting yourself in the moment. I believe that's the highest way to be, is you're happy to put yourself in different circumstances and situations when you're guided to do that, and you trust yourself to let that play out in the way it needed to, and you listen and away you go. Like, I know many people, and I was one, it's like, I need to do this practice to get through the day, which is cope, and which is okay. Like, a lot of things are cope, but getting to the crux of why you feel like you can't have a good day without that rigid routine structure. Why can't you allow yourself to just drop into the unknown on the day-to-day? What is blocking you from being able to hear that voice and trust it? Is it past behaviors, patterns, the way things have played out? Which is okay. There can be some forgiveness there, some letting go, but starting from trusting that voice for me is, the way I try to operate, and the adventure it'll take you on is, far different than your mind believed it to be.